welcome back to the Strange Exchange. This is episode 30, big number 30. Let's hear it for 30. I can't believe we made it this far. I can't believe
Yeah,
we've done it.
it's
We've done it.
impressive.
It's impressive, like this amazing quote I have for you, Rob, and everybody else
hmm
listening at home. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. That's Steve Jobs. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
It comes from one of the more harder working individuals.
Yep. He has very mixed reviews about him. Some people love him, some people hate him, and
Yeah.
some people don't give a shit. Let's all take a drink here. Rob, you ready to take a drink, whatever drink you got nearby? I'm gonna be indulging in a shot of Mountain Dew Voodoo.
A shot of it. Mm. I mean, I'm
Well,
drinking Mountain Dew too, but I'm drinking the Major
regular bit.
Melon. So
Ick. All right. Well, anyways,
yeah,
let's
I like that flavor.
let's all take a drink for our 30th episode in celebration.
But
Oh man, that's some good vodka.
yeah.
Well,
All right.
yes. So like we were talking before, I'm sure everybody's up to speed with or at least know about the whole Gabby Petito um, situation and how that's all played out, and it's just another trendy American murder, I think.
I mean, in a way, I think there's more of a internet outcry at this point, which we've seen now for a couple of cases where the internet just blows up over it, and everybody's kind of doing armchair detective work. And I mean, luckily some of it helps. Like there's a lot of people out there that helped, and and obviously the details of the case are sickening. I mean, it's still technically a missing persons case, but they did find her remains. As
Yep.
I'm sure most know, they didn't find her remains necessarily. They're not making that statement just yet. They're saying they match her description. So, I mean, but that's pretty much, that's a forensic investigator saying that, which, they usually are pretty good at their jobs and detailing. Um, and I mean, if it did happen to be somebody else's remains, it's like, well, what happened to that person? Like, why are they out there doing that? Like, you have to assume, like, we just don't rub things off. And if it's not her, of course, we're still going
Mm-hmm.
to keep it open. But, like, that's the thing with these cases. It's very tough. And the big thing now is to find the, the culprit who did this. And I think we can all safely say we know. We know.
Oh, if
He
you come
just.
back home from a 28-hour drive plus whatever, from
Mhm.
Wyoming to Florida, you come home without your fiance, I'm and you're silent and you don't tell anybody, talk to anybody, you just stay in your house. That's more than obvious. You did something, ditched her, killed her, whatever the
And
hell you did.
and your parents, obviously, they're covering for you in every which way.
Which
And
is
you know
even
what?
more
Then
weird. That's
then
even
they
more
should
weird
be,
too.
if it just so happens to be the murder, they should be accessory to the fact for aiding him, letting him live this life while, things could have been solved, things could have been figured out. While you don't come home distraught and upset that your fiance could have possibly hurt herself, and you could have at least been more honest about it. There could have been so many things that could have happened, and you come home, you're silent, you won't talk to her family, which gives them just constant worry. So now they got a reporter missing, and you
No.
now go missing yourself, saying the family believes he went for a hike where he liked to be, and they found the vehicle there or whatever. Well, I don't
How
know.
come this might be a weird question, but why is this it seems like this is like and this might sound kind of rude too, but it seems like this is so trendy, doesn't it? Does it not seem like it seems like this? I know like it's viral because the news, but it seems like everybody's talking about this. Like a lot
I
here.
It's a hot topic right now, really.
But
It's
why? Why is it? Why is
maybe
it?
because they did have, um You know,
Are
again,
they internet
it's
famous or anything? Are they
I would
internet
say it
famous
is.
somewhere?
There's a lot of theories behind it too. Obviously, there's a theory called the missing white woman syndrome, where anytime there's a white woman that goes missing, it's supposedly that gets more buzz and more
Hmm. Well, she's
visual
decent
just
looking, decent looking
attention
girl.
brought to it.
Yeah.
But I definitely think a lot of it just has to do with also that these two, they're on Instagram. You can go on their Instagrams and look at their posts. It's actually kind of eerie to think like you can go on there and see that. Like it's not like going on a Facebook of like a dead relative that
Yep.
died from like some sort of illness or natural causes, whatever. It's
I
different. Like
figured it out. I figured it out. She's got a little under 1 million followers, and that's probably because of the recent.
I think yeah, it's probably because of this. Now people are following to
I don't
see.
think she would gain 881,000 followers within the span of the
She probably
2010.
did. I mean, because again, these guys
Oh,
they
she
were
has
on
YouTube
YouTube.
too.
Yeah,
Yep,
they were on
she's got
YouTube, but
YouTube.
now like the
Okay.
numbers are going to be sort of skewed because obviously we're looking at this post
Yeah,
the
they're YouTubers.
the
That's
case. So
why.
I
Okay.
think the tough part with this too is just it's also how people are just responding to situations now that involve domestic violence
Yep.
and things like that and disputes and there's so many different like ideas behind this like well who was the abusive one in the relationship. Well, technically to me it doesn't matter who's abusive. It just means you're both toxic to one another and you need to be separated, and that's the thing,
Yep.
because then things like this tend to happen to relationships. Not all of them, but there's a shocking number of people that go out and do this, and they want to hurt their significant others and stuff like that. Like, look, if you don't love somebody anymore, then leave. Don't keep doing this.
Yep.
Being a um, who was the? There was another guy that did
He
something.
he
Chris
almost
Watts. That's who it was. Chris
he
Watts, who killed his family. Um, that's another case where it's just like, look, what goes through your mind, you know?
yeah.
He admitted
Well,
to
I'll tell
murdering
you.
his wife and he killed his three daughters, and which is just horrendous because they're all young and didn't deserve it.
Yep.
And he also had an unborn son. His wife was pregnant, and he just decided to kill him. Like, it's these things that happen just because of a depraved human mind that is just angry and frustrated, and people just do things that are ridiculous. And
Hmm. Yeah, their YouTube channel is really popular.
well,
They get
now
a
it
lot
is,
of
yeah.
views. Yeah, they, no, well, I mean, even before they had they've had quite a bit of videos and views too. Or no, it's just this.
Mhm.
Nope, it's just this one. They have one video beginning our van life journey.
Yeah, and that's the one that like it's on news sites and stuff like that. They're replaying
Yep.
it on TV and whatnot. So
Yep.
there's a certain aspect to this case that's just, to me, what it is people. And people are sad. It's obviously a very heartbreaking thing because you don't
Yep.
want to be a parent or a sibling or even like a friend of these people, and just knowing like the details of this and how horrifying it is. And especially the thing is, if you see something, say something. That's the big thing. If you feel like something's wrong, say something. Don't just look past it. Don't walk away. Say something. So it's
Exactly.
another example of it is Vice Network runs they run a lot of cool series that I like watching. I understand there's people out there that probably don't like that network, thinking they're liberal, but they're more about just exposing things and getting things out there. They run a show called Dark Side of the Ring, and it's based on some wrestling stories that usually are dark and just cryptic and weird. And they had an episode about a plane ride that wrestlers were coming back from Europe. And what these wrestlers would do, and it was exposed on here, was throughout the 80s, 90s, and into the early 2000s, when they would go to bars, they would spike women's drinks, these wrestlers.
Yikes.
And now it's all coming out, and there's people like, yeah, we'd see this happen, but they didn't say anything. They never stood up and said anything in fear of losing their jobs or losing, their careers, possibly losing friends, all that type of thing. And it's like, these are the things that happen. And this is like, what if one time somebody dies from that? And you have to look at this and consider, am I better for just not saying something? Or am I going to be heroic in saying something? Whether you be ostracized from your job or whatever, like, who cares? You could be saving somebody's life, and that's
That's more honorable.
that's the unfortunate thing with this case here is, like, obviously, they stopped these two on the highway in Utah somewhere, which, well, Utah is a interesting state. We'll get into that at some point, but they stopped these two, and she was visually upset. He was more calm and, like, had this weird demeanor. I don't know how to explain it. He just seemed like creepy demeanor, like that creepy calm demeanor where he's like, you just know something's cooking up. Like, you can feel it, and that's what I see in that video.
Just the guy looks like he's he looks almost not animated, but maybe like robotic.
Yeah, like he's programmed to go out there and fix the situation.
Like somebody, he has the face of somebody who like has somebody trapped inside of his body. Like it's not him inside. I don't know. He has just such a like.
Well, it could be the movie Split. It could be that whole situation.
That's kind of what he reminds me of.
I don't know if the guy has multiple personality disorder. What I'm aware of is, according to his Instagram, he's a nature enthusiast, which, good for you, buddy. He said bug bites are better than being brainwashed, and what was the other thing?
Bug bite.
Forgot. Bug bite. But it's just like he's got this mentality of, like, the wilderness, being outdoors, enjoying the aspect of the earth and what it is. And that's great. That's fine. But why stoop to this level? Like, I mean, of course, we're all making assumptions that he did it, but it's strong. We have a pretty for sure safe opinion that he did it. And anybody that defends him, if you'd like to explain why, feel free.
Well, who's defending?
I'll listen to you.
Why would they?
There's people out there that I think, obviously, his family, number one. They're defending him by just not saying anything. The attorneys that they hired are defending him by not saying anything, and then there was a TikTok, some viral TikTok girl, I don't know what her name is, who said she picked him up as a hitchhiker in like Wyoming after all the events maybe have transpired. She didn't know at the time, but she said, yeah, he looked distraught to me. It's like, I don't know what's real and what's not.
Wait,
that's
the
thing.
Took the van back. How did he get back home?
That's the thing. I don't know what's real and what's not. Like, there's just so many holes.
I think the TikToker thing's probably a fib.
Well, she said she picked him up in Wyoming and dropped him off somewhere. So maybe did he leave the van with her and then came back and I don't know how all this goes. Yeah, there's just so many like theories and holes in the story. It's crazy. I'm sure the TikTokers is doing it for attention, which, if that's the case, please spam her with as much as you possibly can. I don't know what her name is. If I did, I would tell you. I just read about it, and which is all I've been doing, is reading. So
these two literally are like a couple from a movie. It's actually like uncomfortable. Sorry, like
it's haunting, isn't it?
I've been watching the video. Yeah, I've been watching it's not only that, it's just like it's so scripted. It just looks like throw up to me. Like I'm just not into the whole like cliche. It's so cliche.
And that's the thing with the internet, man. Like with these Facebook, Instagram relationships, like where you see the pictures and they seem happy and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's like deep down inside, they're so upset with one another, and it's a bad relationship. Like that's what I'm guessing, because I think Drake actually said it best. Drake said, I think one of his, I can't remember which song it was. I believe it was, I don't know if you listened to it. Here, I'll look it up. But he actually said it, and I thought, man, that's incredibly true. Um, and it was like, I know a woman who's happily married until she puts down her phone. You know, like that's just, is that the case for a lot of people?
Yeah, this is a dude.
Um,
This is
it was Emotionless. I believe that's the song. Emotionless, which has Mariah Carey in it, or a sample. But he said it. I know a woman who's happily married until she puts down her phone. Like, boy, you couldn't sum up this any better. I think that's what it is. So sad. I mean, if you
yeah, that's definitely emotionless. I wouldn't even want to come remotely near to this kind of life. I don't. Some people might want this. Van life is
the
not
van life.
sound. Not into it.
Well,
Not
like
into it,
you got
man.
to get money somehow, you know. So what do? Do you just go do like little temp jobs when you get to a town and then leave? Like, how does that work? I'm trying to figure it all out. Or do you save up money for a long period of time and then like take leave off of work? Like, how does that? I, I
They
don't. I'm
probably
completely.
have. I bet you they have well-off families. I'm not saying they're rich, but they're probably well off just by judging the
Mhm.
way that they were both, raised to be. It looks like they both, definitely look like they're coming out of poverty. But they're
Yeah.
not that old, so it's like
I think
they're
she
both
might. She
26.
might. Her family might have had more money. And I know the van. I think was in her name. I think it was her
Oh,
ownership of
okay.
the van.
Yep.
Um, but she was living with that family, not her own family, who I think is like in New York or something, and they're down in Florida,
Yep.
which is crazy distance. And it's just weird, like the
She
weirdest
looks,
thing.
yeah, she looks emotionally like it's exhausted. Like you can see her eyes look like the whole video, like they just look so tired. Like it's just depressing watching this.
Well, I
Well,
forget what the
who
fight was
wouldn't be
over.
tired?
Their fight before they got pulled over, whatever the domestic dispute that they got into, I guess was over him having dirty feet and putting them in the vehicle without washing or
Oh
something like that.
my gosh.
And it's like, see, these are the things that
Wow.
happen in toxic relationships. You're going to get pissed off over something just so small, and it could have been her that instigated it. There's no doubt about that. This is not a knock on women, but there's things that, couples tend to pick on each other about. And sometimes men are not always the cleanest.
Yep.
Not Andrew, though.
Well,
Andrew's a pretty squeaky clean guy.
oh man, I'll come and clean your whole house. Don't you tempt me. However, this might sound insensitive, but whatever. Uh, she did give me a cool idea. Watching them make their breakfast, so I'm kind of looks pretty good. Vanilla
I don't
yogurt
know if it's
with blueberries
insensitive.
and
I mean, hey, if you could take
oats.
inspiration of something cool,
No,
maybe
I'm mostly kidding. If someone actually found that insensitive, I would
maybe
laugh.
take away the fact that you don't want to be put in a situation where you're uncomfortable and you gotta you gotta
Yeah,
hit
no, that was
your
a cool
significant
thing
other
she
or
did there,
whatever.
though. And look, she made that look really good. Yeah, no, they both look, dude. Like he looks like a robot, and she just looks like she's nuts.
I mean, his Instagram, from what I'm seeing on here, is just full of drawings and stuff like that. And then
He's
there's like pictures of
quite the
these two that are
artist.
happy. Um, like right here, he put a picture back in July of 2020, and his caption here is with him and Gabby. They're sitting there at like a wedding or something like that, and they're taking a nice photograph together. And he said, "Love of my life," and put on there, "My biggest fear is that one day I'll wake up and it will all have been a dream, because that is what every second has felt like since the moment we found each other. Till death do us
Well,
part, or until I wake up. I'm so happy the answer was yes."
huh? Until they wake up.
This he's making it sound like the whole relationship is just this magnificent thing. It's all a dream, and it's a beautiful thing. And Um, clearly, you had a different idea in mind. And this was in July, by the way. This was in July. So
Until I
literal
wake
almost 2 months
up.
later, we're knowing all these details now. And
Until I
and the
wake
people,
up.
and then of course people were quick to jump on here and comment, calling him scum and a pig, and
Yeah.
you loved
Oh
her to
man.
death, huh,
I can't
coward?
view his Instagram.
And somebody even put on here, this didn't age too well, now did it?
That is super weird.
Um,
Until I wake up.
boy, yeah, he's they do seem like that kind of that couple that's just like, that couple, the people, from like high school and stuff, where they just seem so madly in love with each other, and then one day it just all ends abruptly, and like you're just like, wow,
Yeah,
all right,
it's
I guess
like
it wasn't that
it's like
important.
well, like I said, like just looking at the video together, it just seems it's trying to be way too perfect. Like it's
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
he's
Like you can't make any mistakes. Nothing can be imperfect. Like no, if something goes wrong, like the whole thing, life just collapses in itself, and that's what happened. Like that's why this is even more uncomfortable. Not only did we find out that this life, I mean, well, I shouldn't say it like that. When these two had their life, ended or whatever, like when their life together ended, when he went nuts, so like it just shows like the toxicity of how when you're trying to make things so like your way and perfect, and like they're trying to control each other, and it's so toxic, like it just collapses in itself. It's not healthy, and that's what I'm perceiving by this when I'm
somebody
watching these
even put on
videos.
here, she's too pretty for this sloth. It's-
Yeah, she's
oh,
really not that good looking to me. But anyways,
I'm
not the
not
point.
judging.
Not the
The,
point being, yeah, whatever. I didn't say that. Shh, cut it out. Just
oh, I'll
like
judge
yeah,
him though.
I
Fuck him, but I'll gladly.
yeah, that dude's a mental case. That dude's nuts. You can see it in his face. He reminds me of somebody. I'm not gonna say their name, but um they work or have worked with me, and he reminds me just like he's got the same like weird like glossy eyes like that just look through people.
Yeah, he
Psycho.
just yeah, he just does not look like a very good person. Like I've known people that look like this guy, maybe with a little bit more hair, but I've known people that look similar to this guy, and they're always the ones that end up in like jail for like robbery or something like that. They're the ones that end up doing something stupid and just going away for a little bit, you know. Also, I've seen people that look like him that are like vegans and like oddballs, where
Yeah, I can
everything's
see that.
everything's an argument.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then just I don't know why this just makes me so sick. Like it just makes me uncomfortable. Like everything they have a little they're going through the van and everything is so like orderly, like perfect. There isn't a hair out of place. Like oh
Yeah,
my gosh, dude. Like
yeah,
how much time do you think they're sitting like or she's sitting, he's sitting, whatever them, they're just making everything look so picture internet worthy, like perfect. It looks uncomfortable. It doesn't look fun.
yeah.
They're making this look
They're really
exhausting.
they're spending more time, I think, worried about
The aesthetics and the
the
look.
yeah the concern from everyone.
Look
Like,
at
oh,
that
what's
bed.
I
It's
can't
so
wait to see what people
small.
are gonna comment and what people
Oh my
think of what
gosh.
we're doing.
I wonder why they wanted to kill each other, and he probably did kill her because the bed's so small you could barely fit your freaking body on that thing.
Yeah, you're in a
I'm sure,
Ford Transit.
I'm
You're in
sure
a
it pulled up.
you're in a delivery van. It's hey, look, you
Delivering
know
sugar
what?
to
I'm not
hell.
gonna, and I don't think there's any windows in the back of those things either. I think it's just like the front windows, so you barely get like
Yeah.
any
Yep. Ventilation and
oxygen or anything in there either,
yeah. How do
unless
you
you,
sleep in there? How?
I
How do
don't
they
know. And
do
they're
it?
sleeping. I mean, to be honest, too, they're sleeping in the desert, which it's hot in the day and it's cold at night. Out in these mountainous
Yep.
regions where there's no trees, there's little to no just oxygen to be produced, and it's just like, yeah, you got like plants and stuff, but everything's
Yep.
dry, and like, you know what, honestly, traveling and stuff, it's cool, it's awesome,
It's exhausting. It's really
but it is
exhausting.
exhausting. And you
It
know
is
what,
fun.
when you're out camping and doing stuff like that, like go camping with somebody for 5 days. I guarantee after two, you're gonna be like, man, I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go. I just want to go. I'm not hinting at anything either, by the way, or maybe I am. I don't know, but
It kind of depends on who you're with, of course, and what you
but that's
do.
the thing. Like, even I think just with general people, like if you're out there for a long period of time, like let's say a week, it's gonna get exhausting. It's gonna get to be too much. You know, that's the thing. And these people are secluded. They're by themselves. They're not going out with groups of people where they would probably put on a better persona. You know, they're out there by themselves camping in a van. And they got to travel miles upon end too to go to these places. Which I don't know where they started. I want to say they started maybe in California. I mean, they started in Florida, but um, you know, 'cause, I
Well,
mean,
they
just
had
imagine.
exactly. They
Like
had some cool
I don't want to
ideas
put you
too.
on the spot, but like if you and your significant other had to be in a vehicle for a very long period of time, and you're doing it over like weeks, like let's say you had like a month off of work, all right, and you're just gonna go out and you're gonna travel everywhere. Don't you think you're gonna get sick of that person after a while?
I mean, yeah, I mean, absolutely, because
You know, and it's gonna be the same
you
for
need
them too.
you need space. Everybody
Yeah,
needs space.
you
It's
know.
not even like you don't love the person. It's just everybody needs that space where
Hmm.
they have time to themselves to invest with just
Yeah.
themselves and be around other people. We're social creatures. We have to remember that. We want to be around others. We want to make friends. We want to talk to people, other people.
Hmm.
Having a you know someone to love and someone love you and a partner. It's fantastic. I'll tell you. But everybody that has that everybody that's married has a girlfriend, boyfriend, a person that they're with, like they know maybe you're on a baseball team or something, little league, whatever. You paint, you go hiking by yourself or something, play music, whatever. You do stuff, and everybody needs that. And I doubt these two were doing that much and that often.
Yeah, clearly
I
they were
just don't
around
see
each
it.
other too
Oh, they're
much.
stuck in a Ford Transit van together. They're glued to each other.
Yeah, she really can't go out and just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go do this, you go do that, or whatever."
Right, like, oh,
Unless they
we'll
were
meet
doing like
back.
separate hikes or something like that, maybe.
Yeah,
But we'll never know
even
because
then,
obviously these two are gone. So
yeah. Oh, they probably won't find this guy. He'll probably, like you were saying
he'll
earlier,
pop
like
up eventually, and I
they'll
mean they'll
find his
maybe
remains.
find. I think they're gonna find him. I don't believe he's alive anymore either. I think the day he
This phone's
disappeared.
gone, right?
Yeah. Yep. As far as we know, he's gone. Everything's gone. They found his car at at that reserve. It's like a state park area with that 80 miles of trails I was telling you about. And
Oh,
they found his car. The family did. They left it there on Thursday. He left Tuesday. Went to this park. They didn't see him. So they go out there Thursday to see if he was out there. They find his car. They leave it there just in case. He's stuck out there and he'll come back.
yeah.
But again, he's lived out in the wild. He's been doing stuff, so he's probably pretty smart at managing out there. He might know a little thing or two. But so they left it, and then they come back, and they just retrieved the car, and they brought it back home, which tells me that they're really doing a lot to try to help him. So yeah,
Oh,
and then yeah, it's a weird situation, very weird, because it's like the guy just went back home and just went back to life as usual. As if the van thing all of a sudden was done. Like that was it. it's over. So if that's not suspicious, you put all that investment into re-imaging your whole life and creating a camper out of a van and doing all this stuff, and then you just all of a sudden abruptly after being out in Wyoming you travel, like you said, 28 hours give or take to come back. And then it's like, nope, all right, I'll go back to normal life, hiking in the woods out by my house. And then I think once he felt the heat, he knew, okay, I probably should go off myself or whatever happened. I don't know. Maybe he didn't kill himself. Maybe he got eaten by fucking crows or something. I don't know. But oh man, wouldn't that be just the most like karma thing?
It's
But
carried away by crows.
I guess
Man.
we'll find out more as it goes. It's just a very, very depressing story, and again, all this stuff could have been avoided
Yeah.
just by separating. Don't be near each other. Go away. You know, while they were in fucking, I guess in Wyoming, you're kind of stuck. There's really nowhere you can go out there. You know, the towns are scarce. But Kanye West lives out there, though. You could have went to his house. He's got a ranch.
He could have helped him out.
Yeah.
Kanye,
You know,
he's
he's one with God now. He'll probably accept anybody in there. I would think if he's truly a major devout guy, you know, willing to help others.
Yeah, that's a gray area. Like
I don't know about it for him. I don't know. I think he's
going full. He's going out, man.
He's going full gospel.
Yep.
Anyway, in other news, we had a little camping trip of our own.
Yep. It's pretty fun, man.
Yeah, definitely an interesting experience. Got to frisbee golf for the first time.
That was fun.
After having such I didn't really have an opinion on it for like the longest time.
When you talk about it with somebody, it's like, yeah, man, I went frisbee golfing. It was sweet, man. Like we did 18 hole. It's like people are just gonna be like,
it
oh,
does.
great,
It
man.
seems like a hipster thing because it's like it is cheaper, you know, and it's not like real golf.
If you look at people who do it too, like it's either families or like more hipstery kind of.
And that's like the people I've seen around my area that go out and do it are usually like groups of friends, you know, whatever. And they might be high schoolers, whatever age they might be, but they're going out and just having a good time. Yeah. They don't have to spend that much. It's like $30 for 3 discs, perfect. You know, you don't even really need a bag. You can bring a gas station bag if you're trying to stay real cheap. But it's so cheap, and it's like the best thing. And heck, you can even go out there and find discs too. You know, you can go out there and find people losing their discs.
Yeah, we found a few. That's pretty cool. You get to find treasure along the way. People lose discs and they don't.
I think you found like a $10-15 disc out there too. You know, you got to think the prices. I found
a few. Yeah, I found a few.
So it's a fun sport. Very fun. Well, is it a sport or an hobby? I guess I don't know. I guess they can all be considered the same. But
technically a sport, I guess.
I would say it's a sport because you're active. But
yeah,
do they have like professional leagues? I never really looked that up.
There is actually.
Yep. Interesting. Yeah. So that means cornhole is a professional sport then too.
I'm pretty sure they do professional or beanbag toss. Yep.
All right. Fair enough. I've never really looked into it.
I'd recommend people just to give disc golf a shot. You know, when you think about it or talk about it, it's like, oh, that sounds lame, man. It's fun, and once you start learning the shots and like you start getting better at throwing and you start using the different discs that give better benefits to different shots and distances and stuff.
I was gonna say we're still very green. We're still.
Oh, we're amateur. We're like amateur.
Not professionals whatsoever.
Nope. Seeing those other people that were throwing them, they're hovering above the ground and just like cruising.
They got like straight shots. It's windy and they're just like, yep.
Just cut right through the air like a butter.
Oh, it's amazing. I can't do it. I'm just like, well, I'm gonna throw it and hope it curves back around. Yeah, it's gonna be I can't wait to do more. Obviously, it's summer is pretty much over at this point. Now we're kind of in the early fall, so
Yeah.
although it's still kind of warm outside.
Well,
In
there's
fact, I think
still
yesterday it got to 90 degrees out here. It's like, jeez,
really. Holy
it was hot when we were out there playing yesterday. It was miserable for a while, but yeah.
wow.
Uh, but anyway, yeah, I think frisbee golf is definitely worth a shot. You want to save some money, start a new hobby. You don't have to go out and spend $3,000 on
Yep. And you can get different grams like for the
stuff.
disc. There's like I'm looking at
Yeah.
this mid-range disc. You know, you can go from 170 to 180 grams. Like the weight plays a role. Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it's
I
gonna
like
be
it.
fun to
I
go out
like
there
it.
more often. Just
Yeah.
because like through the winter, I'm sure the discs are not gonna be the same price in the winter because nobody's gonna be buying them. So it's like, well, let's drop them down in price, see if people come and snag them up. We'll just go buy a bunch of discs.
I'm
There you
looking at
go.
this one. They make ones that float in water too. So if you happen to just
Wow.
have one land in water, you know, if you're lucky enough to have it come back to shore where kind of where you are, if it lands in there, you know, you have the chance to retrieve it.
Can I just not play on courses that I have to throw over water
Have
then,
water.
or,
Yeah, the
or
one we
near
were
it?
at was the one we were at that kind of sucked because we were right against the lake.
Well,
But
yeah. I
the
mean, I wasn't worried
well,
about going
like,
directly into the lake. It was more like that swamp area. Like that's just
yeah.
like, oh, because then you don't know what's in there. You don't know what's gonna grab you.
Oh yeah, grabbing gotchas exactly.
Something, Shrek could be in there. He's waiting to snatch you up. I don't know. I definitely think it was fun. Um,
Hype.
Obviously, I'm trying to keep this podcast lighthearted now. Trying to
Yeah,
give people some
well, you
stuff.
gotta you have a nice edgy, gruesome start, and we go ease into a nice
Yeah,
little discussion about disc golf.
but camping. I learned this.
Camping was
I'm not
fun. We
that
cooked.
bad of a cook.
No,
I'm okay.
yeah, we cooked some things. I think your meal was way better and more extravagant than mine, and
No,
you know,
there's a lot more into it, but it's like also I could have
I just
kept it
made
simple
soup
too.
and corn and like
There's nothing wrong with it. Hey, that soup,
potatoes and
honestly, at the end of the day, although I wish I would have had more, it was just like, yeah, that was simple and it was easy to make though, super easy because you just
uh,
and it was good because it was cold that night. It was like the perfect thing you could have. So you were on the right track looking back at it. I had to give you shit though at the start because it's like, man, this dude just went out and bought a bunch of cans of Campbell's soup. It's
hey,
like, boy, he
it
really
was
thought this one
good.
out.
It was
He's telling
good. It was
telling me
cheap.
chicken and vegetables. It's gonna be a nice little stir fry he's cooking
The
up, and then
snackaroo.
he pulls up with Campbell's soup.
Here comes the canned Campbell soup. Y'all hope y'all ready to eat.
He
Time to
didn't even
eat.
cook like the good stuff, the Progresso or stuff. He's just like, no, here's your Campbell's 69
Yeah,
cent soups.
I should have added that in there and I didn't. I don't know why I
Because
didn't.
there was gonna be better like chicken in the Progresso.
Oh yeah. No,
Oh
I bought
man.
those specifically for that. I guess I don't remember why I didn't put them in there. I was maybe I didn't grab them with them.
I don't know. It was
Whatever.
not to crap on Tony, but he wanted to cook. He wanted to cook bad.
Yeah, he did.
He wanted to
He
help
did.
as best as possible. And I gave him,
He
he
was.
did a good job. He did his part. But
Yeah.
you know, um and $6 for firewood. Come on, guys. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
Six
that
dollars for
campground
birchwood.
had some flaws. Yeah,
You
$6
kidding
for
me?
cheap for a log you split 20 times and charge $6 or like yeah,
It was
that's
birchwood. It just burns so quick. It does not
yep.
last. It's
Yeah, it's
not
definitely not worth six
not
dollars.
good.
Campground was decent. It was in Baylor State Park, Minnesota. Nice people that own it. They had a oddly strange rule of only two tents. I still just don't understand
Hmm.
why you'd only let people have two tents when you have, you could have possibly have up to eight people. It's like two tents? What are you out of
Yeah.
your mind? It's like
Like
when you're
honestly, they have such a nice like area. It's gorgeous out there, and of course, we were lucky enough to have some great days for
yeah,
camping. Nothing was like rainy or cloudy and just garbage. It was beautiful nights, but Yeah, it's tough, and they have a lot of stuff there that they're advertising that they don't do, and they put on their website just how great the place is, but they don't give you the rules right away. They don't tell you, oh yeah, you can't have more than two tents, or they tell me one vehicle on the site, and they just told me you got to be quiet after 10. Okay, cool, we can abide
It's
by
like
that,
one car,
but
two tents. Shut up.
they don't tell you how much firewood's going to cost going into it. They don't tell you like, okay, how many tents you can have or nothing like that. They don't tell you
They didn't
that
tell us none of that stuff, but
they don't tell you that when you flip your buddy's RC boat in the water that you can't go get a canoe to get it. Nope, it's just lost.
that
So,
was a loss.
yeah, funny though. But yeah, that was maybe it just wasn't a good day to go drive it out there either, man. It was choppy.
I just
I'm gonna look
honestly
for
for
every way
me,
not to blame this on myself.
no, it was his fault though.
Yeah, how dare you go drive an
How
RC
dare you?
boat out on a windy day?
How dare
How
you let me
dare
fool
you?
with it?
He's just like, here, you want to play with it? Yeah, sure, all right. And then bloop, game's over. We can all go back now and cry about it.
Well, yeah.
Oh
Overall,
man,
I think it was decent. You know, I just
I
had
just
some little
I just stood
challenges, but
there and I looked at him and he's just like, oh god, you got to be kidding me.
he's like,
He
really?
didn't even like he wasn't like pissed. He just like really.
Come on,
Like,
man.
oh man, this is funny. Oh, that was great. And that water, of course, which was just green,
That was very dirty water. Very
looked like
tempted to jump.
Chicago on St. Patrick's Day.
Like,
Just it's not good.
very tempted to jump in and save the boat,
Yeah.
but due to the disgusting, polluted-looking algae water, I was like, all right,
I would say
not
the
worth it.
temperature of the lake would have been the first thing that I would have just
It was cold too, but
groaned about.
that wasn't the reason that stopped me. It definitely didn't help the case, but that water was dirty for
um,
me.
but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not gonna say people don't camp there. I do like it. I would definitely
It's
go
like
again if I had more like
it's like a
ample opportunity.
7 out of
Hmm.
10 rank for me. You know, it's not great, but it's not like bad. It's like maybe a little bit above medium, like
Hmm.
moderate. It's like, you know, nice people.
So
It's
it
always good
is.
to have like nice people own the place. And it was well kept. It's very open. The campgrounds are where they have usually where at least where we were, the campground was open because of RVs and stuff. It wasn't much like didn't really feel like we were camping. Like it felt like we were
You felt
in our
well. I mean,
backyard.
for us, we were camping. Everybody else is more like just getting out of the house and taking their beautiful luxury camper out
Yeah.
there and just.
Yep.
And they weren't really doing it. Like most people were just sitting around all day and just doing their own thing at their site. Nobody was really out going doing stuff. Like we were the only ones. And we're just out and
That
about.
was
And
also kind of weird.
so that to me, that's just not fun. That would be miserable. Like having a camper would be great, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna be inside of that camper the whole weekend.
Right.
Like you got to be kidding me. Yeah, you got to be kidding me. But
You gotta be
I'm just gonna keep trying new places though. Just keep trying new locations
yeah.
to go
Hopefully
camping.
we can squeeze another camping trip in
Yeah,
October. When
October's just one of those months though, man. Where
the
any
when it gets
weekend could
super
be
cold.
cold and just miserable.
Yep.
I mean, of course, yeah, you make the best of it, but you know, I mean, I know better now. I know what not to do when it's cold, which is drink
Definitely
tons of
want
beer.
that. That too. You also want warm stuff. Like you absolutely need
Yep.
wear warm clothing. You want the
Hmm.
a sleeping bag that insulates. You want extra blankets and stuff and all that stuff. So
Yeah, no shoes and a shirt. None of that
yeah, you
shit.
can't show up in shoes and a shirt when you go camping. That's not
um,
an option.
are you looking at any other spots yet? I mean, I know you mentioned something about it. Have you looked into any other locations?
Nope, I have not, but I'm actually in the process of doing that today.
I was gonna
Just
say, if you got anything in mind, of course, I'd like to see what you got.
yeah,
That'd be cool.
yep.
But
Always
that'll
like
be
to
for
keep it
another day.
within like an hour, hour and a half distance, and I want to
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to drive too far. Well, of course, you'll make me drive far
not
though.
just
It'll be like, oh yeah,
so
we'll go an hour north of where I am, and then
no.
Rob will
Hey,
just have to
we
drive
can.
3.
There's options. Like there's options.
You laugh because it's true. I know this is coming. And you'll be like,
That's
yeah.
it. We're going to Wyoming.
He's like,
We're going to the state park. We're adding a body. I said it.
oh, you're gonna
Too
kill me.
soon. Too
Ah,
soon.
maybe a little.
That's okay.
Oh
It's all
boy,
love.
yeah.
It's a joke.
Now we're gonna get another comment. Great.
Yeah. Well, this video is being taken down.
Yeah, it'll be taken down by your coworkers.
Wait.
Oops, I did it again.
Oh, take this off. Take this off.
I'm not saying any names, all right? I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, it's not like they can just take this down. Whenever they feel.